Welcome back inside of Hartford All Access here on the season recap of the 2012 year. This is Mike Lewis, the first-year head coach for the men's and women's tennis team. Brian Irizarry on hand with you. And Mike, wrapping up your first year. Obviously, you come in personally with some goals. So how was the first year just over? The bumps in the road, and then did you reach any of the goals that you set aside instead of team goals?
Well, to start off broadly, I think we came in, Coach Terranova and myself, thinking, what can we do to, really our main goal is to bring the players and the team together as one unit. Obviously, with the transition of us coming in and with such a long season, because we're both fall and spring, we needed to find ways to keep the players meshing together and being competitive throughout the season. As far as first year experience, I think we definitely capitalized on it. There was a lot of excitement when we came in, and that's what you want from your players. Looking for new blood in terms of the coaching staff, a new vision, new philosophy. So we jumped right into it, and our players responded, better than we ever thought they would. So
did you try, because obviously, like you said, you just touched upon the fact that you don't want to overhaul things. I'm the new coach, I'm going to change everything. Did you try just little things to kind of help them out? Because obviously, a lot of these players have been playing tennis for a long time. So if you come in and say, hey, no, I need you to go in the forehand, the backhand, or whatever it is, did you try small things to let them know that you're knowledgeable, first off, and that you're not going to just try to overhaul everything?
Absolutely. I think the important thing was to bring the team together. And the way that we did that was really focus in on the individual players. Okay. See what we were starting with. I had some experience coaching, against this team in years past at UConn, but to be one-on-one with the players is definitely a newer experience for me in terms of being at Hartford. So I had an idea of the players that we were getting. I wanted to see how they would respond to kind of our philosophy, kind of our tougher mindset, and see how they would compete throughout the season. So from day one, we were doing a lot of individual stuff as much as we could, and really trying to formulate our practices around individual things that each one of them would be able to take away from. So for practices, a lot of time obviously goes into those, because that's what we prepare for those matches. But every practice, each one of the players had a specific task that they wanted to work on, and we wrapped things up by trying to bring them all together and doing those little things and fundamental things that we were starting practices with. So they definitely responded.
You guys were able to get both on the men and women's side, Abby Lou and Aneil Bhalla, second team All-Conference, actually the first All-Conference performer since 2005. So that's great to have them being recognized. Let's start off with Abby. She's a grad student, a little more mature, but she had transferred from Texas. So coming up here in the New England climate, tennis playing outdoors isn't that great atmosphere, but she had a successful season. So why was she so successful, and how did you help her out?
Abby's been a terrific student athlete for us, both in the classroom and on the tennis court. She brought definitely, obviously, a different level of experience coming from such a bigger university at the University of Texas, where they're, perennial contenders for a national championship. So she's seen a different level of competition that our players haven't, and she definitely brings a higher level of focus and intensity. And so for our women and even our men, just to see how she approaches her preparation for matches and preparation for practices was definitely helpful for us, because that definitely, just kind of rubbed off on the team without, really us having to do too much. Abby is a special talent. She definitely puts a lot into her studies and into her tennis, but the game comes easy for her. She's a competitor, and when you have the talent that she has and the competitiveness that she has, definitely makes coaching that type of player a lot more enjoyable.
Now on the men's side, Aneil Bhalla, America East All-Academic, third straight selection. He had started off on a rough patch, and then he wound up finishing strong. I had asked him in an interview, was there a turning point from a coaching standpoint? Did you find a turning point for him on where something clicked and then all of a sudden he got hot?
I knew how talented Aneil has always been just because I've had a chance to coach against him. He faced some injuries in the fall that kept him sidelined, which honestly I think with the length of our spring season might have helped him out to come out fresh. He came out hungry and he came out wanting to make the most of his senior season. So I think for him, the time that he spent over winter break doing what he needed to do to get ready, both on the court and honestly in the classroom, he's just a special student. He'll be doing some really good things, in his future in med school. But for him to wrap up his spring season with, honestly, easily could have been the last 9-match win streak.
Yeah.
We had a couple of hiccups there, but when you talk about senior athletes, that's how you want to finish out. You get the honor and the recognition from the conference that he's had, and the results. I mean, that's just the icing on the top on the cake right there. So
now you finish up your first year as the head coach here. Your off season's about to get action packed, so you're probably a little excited now that you get to go recruit a class.
Absolutely.
Where are you going to be traveling to, and what are you looking for, and how difficult is it? Because we talked about Abby being from Texas and a bigger university where you can play outdoors on a more consistent basis, and we got lucked out with the weather, this year. But tell us about the recruiting process and kind of the excitement from you.
Well, the summer is definitely going to be a busy time for us. We're wrapping up actually our recruiting class for fall 2012. Tennis is just one of those unique sports that goes fall and spring. So, we've got to recruit while we're competing and preparing. We've got a lot of great kids coming in. I'm really excited, and in particular, what we're looking for is obviously, raising the level of the program to the point where we're competing for championships. That's obviously my ultimate goal, and the players that we're bringing in are just going to be one little piece to getting us to that goal. But honestly, the players that we have on the roster now are our foundation, which is why it was so important for us to get them on board with myself and Coach Terranova. They're the founding blocks for this program moving forward, and the players that we're bringing in, they're already getting along with our current players. They're reaching out to each other, just trying to think of things that they can do to be ready for the fall, because when they're transitioning from the junior circuit to the college level, it's definitely an adjustment. Yeah. So it's nice to know that our players are there to help them out, and obviously myself and Coach Terranova. But it's the fall 2012 is definitely a point I'm really excited for, and I think our players are excited for as well. So.
Well, good luck during the offseason. Congratulations on completing your first year.
Thank you.
All right, let's head coach Mike Lewis of the men's and women's tennis team. Stay up to date at HartfordHawks.com throughout the course of this summer.